The podcast for the Treasure Coast. With breaking news.
The latest tech. With scripture and devotions added at times.
The only podcast on the Treasure Coast that brings you breaking news along with anything tech.
With added or comment scripture and a devotion times. Welcome to Treasure Coast.
Real time podcast.
All right, and we are here with the real-time Treasure Coast podcast. So we are ready once again to bring you today's podcast, and I just grabbed my Trump hat and I'm ready to roll. So let me just welcome you. For those of you watching on our YouTube channel, I just want to visually welcome you. If you are listening to this on Anchor, our Anchor podcast, please click the link to our channel if you'd like to watch these episodes on our YouTube channel. But thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being with us. We do want to get feedback, and we are really trying to explode our following, and we are wanting to bring you up-to-date news. So I'm going to transition here, and in fact, I'm changing a little bit today of how I do things. So we're going to go ahead and go to the news, and there we are. And with the news, of course, we are still in the coronavirus time, and I am going to bring you. This is a news site that I actually just stumbled across, and in fact, let me go ahead. I haven't even taken a look at a lot of these news articles. I try to find stuff and go through it before I start the show, but sometimes I'm not able to overlook everything. I thought this was a text. Oh, there's the text. Well, let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and play this. And but it's the title: CARES Act funding for Native tribes reveals continued U.S. colonization. I'm not sure how long this is, so let's just see what happens. I'll go ahead and play this. And let me get the volume set up here.
This is Jacqueline Luqman with the Real News Network. As if centuries of colonialism, genocide, and near social erasure were not enough, the indigenous people of this country are facing yet another challenge to their existence. This time, it is the spread of the novel coronavirus, COVID-19, among Native communities, as well as the ongoing onslaught against them from the United States government. COVID-19 is wreaking havoc among Native populations, hitting them particularly hard, but what makes their fight against this virus even worse is the continued disrespect and dismissal of the rights of Native people by the U.S. government.
All right, that just kind of gives you a little bit of it. I will have the link right there. I'll have it in the description. But there are several different ones. I'm just bringing you the real-time news. This lady, here's her name. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but she talks of colonialism, genocide, and near social erasure were not enough. The indigenous people of this country are facing another challenge to their existence, which is the COVID-19. So I'm just bringing you news as I come across it. So I'm not going to dig into that. I have this feeling I may not agree with everything she says, but there are different things that are happening that we need to be aware of, and it does not matter who you are, where you come from, what your background is. We need to treat everyone the same. All right. Now, how about how can oil be less than zero? Okay, Mark Steiner, he's with the Real News, therealnews.com. Mine's real-time news. So I'm going to read this. And so what happens is this video is the same as what the transcript is. So the global price of oil hit below zero on April 21st. And we all know below zero. It's gone back up slightly, but the predictions are it will fall again to zero. It's the lowest it's ever been traded on the market. And it happened as global consumption of oil has greatly plummeted since the onset of the social restrictions in the wake of the global COVID-19. The oil industry research consultancy firm Rysod Energy predicts that hundreds of U.S. oil production companies will go through bankruptcy. And CNN recently reported the fate could actually be worse for some companies and liquidation. So what is actually happening is in the midst of this crisis, we are actually to the place where the consumption isn't anywhere near what it used to be. So if you remembered, President Trump actually had bought up, Saudi Arabia had dropped the prices, so he bought up, was filling up our reserves. Well, what has happened is with this COVID, it's shut down worldwide. So the consumption in oil, there is no consumption, very limited consumption, because no one is able to drive, no one is able to do anything. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, think of this. This is what will happen if you allow socialism to take over. The government controls everything. And if you look, I'm going to kind of go down a rabbit trail here. If you look, go to the stores, look at what's happening in the meat, the poultry, beef and poultry industry, and the incompetency of the liberals is horrible. And I know the article or the website I'm on, obviously it leans a little liberal. Let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and transition back here to the white collar criminal. Let me go with this. And now I'm finally understanding this website. They have a video and text for each one. Okay, Eddie Conway, he's from Baltimore. Everyone is aware that there's always been a two-tier prison system, one for the white-collar prisoners or high-profile prisoners, and the other for everyone else. Well, since COVID-19, apparently a number of the high-profile prisoners has been requesting release clemency, and they have been getting different treatment than the rest of the prison population. So, what this episode talks of is, I'm not going to go into it. They are actually looking at the difference in how each of these prisoners are treated. One of the things that has been happening is that all the prisoners that are released, they have been releasing prisoners, and you notice it to the best of my knowledge, I know New York and California, two liberal states, are releasing the prisoners. So what do you expect is going to happen? And the thing I want to think about is with this, they're releasing the prisoners, but yet holding us, the law-abiding citizens in our own house. Isn't that crazy? That is so uncalled for. I do not understand the thinking of politicians. And one of the things, it just really ticks me off how, I'm going to get fired up here. It ticks me off how they have overstepped their bounds, the Constitution. They have shut down churches. Look at the Mississippi. In fact, let me just go ahead and pull this up here before I move over. Mississippi church. Okay, here they sue. Okay, this Mississippi church got shut down. If you remember correctly, now I'm going to transition back over here. That way you can see it. Those that are watching online. Okay, let me I hate all these pop-ups here. There we go. The Mississippi church is suing. This Mississippi church they arrested them. They were having pull-in service, keeping the social distance apart, and they got arrested. So, Attorney William Barr, through the weight of the Justice Department behind the Mississippi church that is suing to overturn a municipal order that prohibits drive-in church services during the coronavirus pandemic. The department filed court documents in support of the Temple Baptist Church in Greenville, Mississippi, which has filed a lawsuit. Good. I'm glad they filed a lawsuit claiming discrimination because of restrictions that apply to churches but not businesses such as restaurants in the town. At issue are restrictions that the church say prohibit holding its services during which a pastor broadcasts via low-power FM radio from inside an empty church to congregation members sitting in their cars in the parking lot. According to the church's lawyers, the same rules don't apply to a drive-in restaurant in the town. So that's crazy. I do not understand at all. This is our United States. We're not in Germany. We're not talking about Germany. We're talking about the United States here. It's crazy. All right, listen, we're going to go to a break. This podcast is probably going to be a little bit shorter today, but we're going to go to the gun safe. You need to protect yourself. And let me go ahead and be pulling up this other My Patriot Supply. But I want to talk about gun safe. Stack on Elite 90 gun safe. 72 inches tall fireproof safe. You can go to jjmediaonline.net. That's jjmediaonline.net/gunsafe. jjmediaonline.net/gunsafe. It's a 72-inch tall fireproof safe with electronic lock, black. It's for, of course, you see the price, $18.89. They have different. They have, of course, a different on the inside door. You can put different pistols. In fact, there's a picture. It has shelves on the inside for those of you that are watching online. Shelves on the inside for all of your boxes, your cases. Then it looks like it will fit 5 rifles on the right and 2 rifles on the left. And then, of course, there's a 4, 8, 12 holster, or 12 for holders for pistols on the door. And there's some various stuff you can put down below that. That's pretty cool. Looks really nice. But it is factory installed door organizer with sewn-in holsters and pouches. Keypad can be silenced. Electronic lock batteries accessible from the front of the safe. So this is a Stack on Elite safes are engineered to protect your valuables from fire and theft inside and out. The fully adjustable interior of the Stack on Elite 90 gun 72-inch tall fireproof safe with electronic lock includes 5 adjustable position barrel rest and 6 adjustable position shelves, allowing custom configurations to best suit your needs. Use the high capacity barrel rest for maximum gun capacity, the U-shaped barrel rest for easy access, or combine both. So it's jjmediaonline.net/gunsafe. Go there, pick up your gun safe. All right, are you in the midst of, you have seen where the factories have shut down, and the CEO of Tyson Foods has said there's going to be a shortage, but President Trump is writing an executive order. Get your 4-week emergency food supply. The emergency food supply, they have long-term, short-term, bulk number 10 food cans, special emergency food kits, fruit and vegetable kits, meat and protein, gluten-free options, Franklin's finest survival coffee, sprouting seeds and microgreens, and case pack food pouches. They do have survival items for survival gear, cooking gear and tools, power and lighting, stoves, fuel and lighters, and such. So go to jjmediaonline.net/mypatriotsupply. That's jjmediaonline.net/mypatriotsupply to pick up your food needs, your long-term emergency food needs. So we do want to thank you again for listening to us, and we ask you to share our podcast. Share it on your Facebook, Twitter, tweet it. We're setting up our social media outlets on Instagram. We're going to be eventually setting up Twitter. We got a Facebook page. I do have to drop that in the description. We're trying to flesh out all of our pages. That way you can connect with us. And as we increase this podcast, we really want to just bring you news. Not all the news that we agree with. We just want to bring you straight news. We do give our opinion, because I'm not a journalist, but we bring our opinion, but we just want to bring you news straight to you, real-time news. That's why I called it real-time news. So, all right, into the tech. Okay, Daily Crunch, the Google Meet goes free for everyone. Google Meet goes free for everyone. I forgot to move that around there. Okay. Google is making a big push for its Zoom competitor. Samsung outlines how COVID-19 is reshaping consumer demand, and Ford delays its autonomous vehicle plans. So, Google is making Meet free for everyone. This is kind of a new crowd, or a new video conferencing app that Google has come up with. Meet is Google's video meeting tool for businesses. Hangouts is the company's free consumer equivalent. Until now, you could participate in a Meet call. You could not participate in a Meet call without being a paying user, but you needed a paid G Suite account to start calls. Meanwhile, Google's parent company, Alphabet, reported that its business grew more than expected in the first quarter, but with a significant slowdown in March. All right, number 2. Here, I should have said I'm giving a list of different tech items. Samsung expects COVID-19 to hurt smartphone and TV sales, but increase demand for memory. More earnings news. In the first quarter report, Samsung said it expects the COVID-19 pandemic to continue impacting its business for the rest of the year, cutting into sales for smartphones and TVs. But increasing demand for PC servers and memory chips. Okay, the third item, Ford postpones autonomous vehicle service until 2022. Let's see what we got here. Here is the article. With this pandemic, Ford said Tuesday it will delay until 2022 to launch the autonomous vehicle service due to the COVID pandemic. The news was shared as part of Ford's quarterly earnings, was released after the market closed on Tuesday, and that is Tuesday of this week. Today is the 29th, April 29th, so it would have been April 28th. So let me go back here, and I'm going to go back to this Google Meet, and we're going to dig into this a little bit in this text section, and then we're going to end up with the verse of the day. So the Google section is the Meet. Okay, it's making as of after September. Okay, let me get back here real quick. Let me find it. They were talking about Google, the Meet being free. So you won't be able to schedule free Meet calls right away. That's MEET. Google is opening access to Meet to free users gradually starting next week. It may take a few weeks before everyone has access to it. After September, free accounts will be limited to meetings that don't run longer than 60 minutes. But until then, you can chat for as long as you want. The only other real limit is the meetings can't have more than 100 participants. You still get screen sharing, real-time captions, a new tiled layout the company introduced a few days ago. Users will need a Google account to participate in meetings, though, which isn't likely to be a major barrier for most people, but it does add more friction than simply clicking on a Zoom link. Google argues that in return you get a safer platform, not just because it's hard to guess meeting codes for Meet, which makes Meet bombing a non-starter, but also because Meet runs in the browser and is hence less vulnerable to security threats. So I wanted to go back to that and kind of explain that it is free, and yet the free portion is I forgot to change the screen for you that are watching online. So, all right, now we're going to finish this this broadcast with our random verse of the day. And I want to remind you that during this pandemic, the COVID-19, God knows exactly where you are. And God knows what you need, when you need it. So, the random Bible verse, Lamentations 3:24, the Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. So, you can try asking God a question to God in short prayer, and he will always answer. So I'm going to recommend this. This is random verse of the day, but a lot of times randomly God will put a verse up on the screen just when you need it. I want to encourage you to just look to God, understand that he knows exactly what you need. And I want to encourage you to just, whatever that problem that is, and I'm talking to myself, whatever problem that is, turn it over to him. I want to do something different on today's podcast. In fact, I may just start tossing this in, but I'm gonna end in prayer, and this prayer is for you who are suffering through this COVID. I have some things. I just did a major decision yesterday. I'm wanting God to lead and guide. So I'm going to pray for you. Heavenly Father, you know who is going to hear this podcast, and you know who needs help. Lord, you know this, whether it's after the pandemic is over, but right now we're going through the COVID-19 pandemic. What everyone is looking at, it looks like life is crazy. Life has been turned upside down. But God, we're asking you right now to touch those that will hear this podcast. Reach out to them. Let them know that you are there with them. We thank you. We praise you. We know that you are the one true God, and you are listening to us. Thank you for the great God that you are, and always being there. have thine way in thy name. Amen. Thank you again for listening to this podcast and watching online. We do appreciate it very much. Please click below the links to the articles, our supporters, our affiliates. That helps us out. We're trying to grow this into a full-time thing is actually what we're trying to do. So thank you again. We ask you to share this, follow us, and like the video on YouTube, subscribe to us, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video and you hearing us on the next podcast. Have a great day.